Tug. Excuse me. I think it's 6:02 a.m. I've been up for a while. And yeah, this is mainly just a backup follow-up to Michael, 45 RPM audio files, latest video. Great selection of albums there. Regarding, this is just a cheap Chinese bootleg. But it sounds great. This album, poor old Michael, you don't feel pressured by any of these Beatle bores. Honestly, they go on as if they were the only band. It's just bullshit. The Beatles were just another, I can tell you, I'm an old guy. The Beatles were just another bloody band for a brief period of about a year in 63 to 64. The Beatles were massive, but it was 99% girls. The Beatles just didn't have killer tracks on their first album that appealed to boys, apart from that ghastly, god-awful, effing Ringo version of Boys, which is a shit song to start with, and it's supposed to be sung by a girl. I've been told when it's a bit weird, It's sort of like getting in weird territory there. I'm tending to waffle. It is early. I'll try to keep it brief. An album of this album would have cost the average pre-teen or teenager in 1963 in Australia. That's all. I can't comment anywhere else. But in Australia, it'd cost you 6 months to a year's worth of washing windows and working in Woolworths part-time to be able to even afford to buy an album. And there were no great albums before this. I mean, truly, Buddy Holly did put out one great album, but it was after he died. It was called Buddy Holly's Greatest Hits. I've got it. It's been in our family since 1960, and it sounds terrific. A bit like the jazz releases from that era, in that it's only mic'd, probably a 2-track recording. They're basically, the reason why those jazz records and Buddy Holly and stuff sounds so good is that there was no overdubs. They were done live in the studio. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. The minute you start putting overdubs on a record, you're already fucking up the clarity of the sound. Anyway, let's not get into that. I saw her, side one, I saw her standing there. Well, man, you got to realise, I didn't get my first transistor radio until I was about 15. My dad bribed me because I was always in trouble at school, always. And he said, if you can pass an exam this year, I'll buy you a transistor radio. So it forced me to actually pass an exam. So I overdid myself that year, actually. And this is the truth, I'm not lying. I came second in my high school in advanced history. I think I got, this would have been 1966, 65, 66. That's when I got my first transistor. I didn't get it in 65, 66, but it was a really good one. I think I came second in advanced history. I think I got 90 or something. A girl beat me by 1 point. She came, and I came second last in the lowest math level with 8%. That's what happens when you move to another state when you're about 8 years old, and their educational system's 2 years behind. So when I got to South Australia, they took me into the headmaster's office and they said, "You're a genius." And I said, "Look, I was 8, right?" I said, "I know what a genius is, and I'm not a genius. I've already learnt this stuff." They wouldn't believe me. I go back to Sydney, and then I'm the dunce because I'm suddenly 2 years behind, and I could never catch up with maths. Anyway, I saw her standing there. That is a powerful song, man. You think about it, the Beatles before this is their first album. The Stones weren't writing original songs like this on their first album. The first Stones album shits on this just for sheer energy and, you know, oh, man, for a young guy, I didn't buy my first Beatles album until Sergeant Pepper, you know, because that was a game changer. Before that, you didn't have to because all the girls had all the Beatles albums. So you go visit one of your mates, and we just go into his sister's room and grab some Beatle records and put them on. You know, we. But anyway, I saw her standing there. Now that's awesome. Um, yes, I mean some of these tracks are, to the modern ear, they just it sounds primitive, and it is. But at the time, this this was recorded in one 12-hour session. They just went in and did it live. This is all live. There's no overdubs on this. If there is, they're minimal. Track one, I saw her standing there. The last track is Please Please Me. Two great early songs by them. I hate Love Me Do. Always have. I cannot stomach it. Absolutely despise that. It's rubbish. Um, P.S. I Love You is sort of a wimpy thing, but it's not too bad. But it's their covers of the American girl groups that really got me and a lot of young blokes interested. Because Baby It's You, oh man, do you know a secret's another corny Paul McCartney pile of shit. A Taste of Honey's another McCartney pile of shit. Not originals, but him singing them. There's a Place I really, really like. That's another early Lennon McCartney song that's often overlooked. Very atmospheric. Um, um, I can't read this shit. Ask me why. Oh, Misery and Anna Go to Him. Look, this is not a masterpiece, but value for money for a young person with no money. This is pretty good. Even that the shit tracks are bearable. Um, and the album after this, I really like with the Beatles. Um, but the thing is, like I said, come on, get off. This was a girls' group, right? And some of these Beatle bores go on and on and on about it. They were probably still shitting in their fucking nappies when this came out, and then when they all going on about, oh yeah, and the Beatles, they were more interested in having a shit in their diapers, and then maybe even smearing their shit on the fucking wall, and then picking their nose and eating it. Anyway, well, that's my critique of Please Please Me. Have a nice day.